started talking. He said, y'all need to understand something. He said, Timothy, just in case you get beat down by the warfare of pastoring a church, I was the chiefest of sinners. I did things that would blow your mind. I did it. Then on top of that, I was injurious, meaning I hurt folk. I killed folk. You may not have killed nobody in the flesh, but you surely killed them with your words. You might not have murdered anybody physically, but how many people, I'll raise my own hand, how many people know you don't put your mouth on some folk and killed them 30 times over? I know it's not popular, but it's the truth. And Paul wanted to make sure that Timothy understood that it's the grace of God. It's the love that was first given to you that you must base your life on. Not the love that you've given to him, because there's a paradigm in that process that never makes sense. So as he was writing this letter, he slipped something around verse 16. And he said, how for this cause I obtained mercy, that in me first Jesus Christ might show forth a pattern of long suffering for a pattern. My God. Yes. Hallelujah. There's a pattern about the long suffering of Jesus Christ to sinners who try to make it right. Why else must there be another way? If there is a way already, if all you have to do is say, I'm saved, and live a life that is conducive to serving God, and that's it, why is it that everybody in this room, including me, seems to be having a problem with doing it on a consistent basis? Well, I'm talking to living witnesses in here today. If Paul, the man of God, could testify that I, who am chief apostle, was also a chief sinner, and I found myself doing things. He said, that which I should do, I don't. That which I shouldn't do, anybody ever done something you shouldn't have done? Even when you didn't want to do it, you did it anyway. Oh, let me talk to y'all. Has anybody ever done something that you really didn't want to do, but you did it anyway because you had to do what you didn't want to do so you can do it so it can be done, and you have to worry about doing it again, but you do it anyway? I know I just said a mouthful, but you got to hear what I'm saying. He wanted to show forth a pattern to those of us who love God with our whole hearts. And so, as time progressed, Paul was telling Timothy, listen, you are going to face opposition in your life. And there's going to come a time where you must look at me and see what God has done in me. Everybody needs a measuring stick of someone. Let me rewind that. The body of Christ has not reached a place where we can find out who is legit and who isn't. Do you hear what I'm saying? We can't even determine who's legitimate and who isn't. What we need is some folk who have reached a place of maturity and victory, walking around our churches so somebody can know how good God is, so somebody can know how powerful God. I need somebody that has overcome the sin of the world, walking around my church so I can know the pattern that I must follow. But the problem is we have too many folk still struggling, trying to make it. Look at niches, all right? We are looking for someone to show us the way. But Paul, who was the greatest of them all, showed us that no matter what you attempt to do, there will be something going on in your life that will constantly challenge the God in you. I Yeah, I'm talking right. He said, listen, I obtained mercy. How many of y'all know it shouldn't have been me? I didn't deserve the mercy that God gave me. I didn't deserve it, but he gave it to me anyhow. And I bless his name that he didn't count it robbery to save my Jesus. Thank you for dying for me. And I feel a blood praise in my gut. He said that you must understand, young man, that that God gave me mercy, so that through my life I can show forth a pattern of the long suffering and the grace of God that you're going to need to complete this race. You're going to need it. And so it matriculated over to Hebrews. Now, they don't know who wrote it. They don't know who wrote Hebrews. They're still trying to figure it out. Some say it was Paul. But what happened was, during that time, there was a lot of converts coming into the church, and they were so busy trying to make them keep some of the Hebrew lifestyle that many of the new Gentile saints was walking around confused. Sound like today's church. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. I'm Presbyterian. We're apostolic, and we're non-apostolic, and we're denominational, we're non-denominational. And while all of us are sitting together, how is it that we're all in the same church, but all of a different denomination? What you talking about, Pastor? I got some whores in here, I got some liars in here, I got some thieves in here, I got some backbiters in here. I know that I called you that I'm bigger than you. I got some double-minded folk in here. I got some folk that don't know which way they're going. I got some that says, you. And so he began to explain to them that why is it that when we make the attempt to do what we know is right, there's always something going on in us. And I believe that the Spirit of God began to really break it down in the book of Hebrews. I'm going to give you a little bit of this. He said, and I want you to hear it. I'm going to say my notes for you. He said, let us, verse 11 in Hebrews 4. He said, let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Many of us think that it's the sin that you commit that causes you to miss God, and that's true. But something that will get you in trouble quicker with God than any sin you can commit is unbelief. See, unbelief is not as in the open as sin is. See, if you laying up, the church knows. Oh, come on in here. If you live in a double lifestyle, the church knows. If you a drinker, we know because we love you. Called one of the saints, hey man, God bless you. Oh, ooh, you had a good weekend. They don't make bear cologne. And then, what happens is you find out that you are so busy trying to hide your sin that your unbelief is all over you. And that's the thing that happens. Now let me take my time. I'm not going to try to cram this on. Stop. We all recognize that we are a threefold human being. It's mind, soul, and spirit. Come here. Y'all demo with that. In 1 Timothy, Paul wrote to Timothy, listen, I'm being used as a pattern of the goodness and the mercy of God. I am the abundant grace of God. I'm telling you, if God could have killed anybody for sin, it was me. Judas ain't had nothing on me. Judas was used to glorify Christ. I was used to bring him shame and condemnation, but then now he has taken my life and now I'm bringing him glory. But you must understand, son, that you will be right there, but there will be something working in you that only the word of God can split up. So you come into the church saved. You get elevated saved. You think you know everybody loving you, you're a good man or woman of God, and you doing your